Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. There's an old saying in baseball that goes, if you see enough games, you're bound to see something you haven't seen before. Last night was proof of that here at the ballpark. Miguel Olivo's drive into left field, caromed off the glove of left fielder Ryan Rayburn over the fence for a home run. What will we see tonight that we haven't seen before? Welcome to the ballpark. Game 2 in this 3-game series featuring the Seattle Mariners and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us for Game 2 in this 3-game series. Rod Allen will join us in a little bit. The Tigers try to even up this series. They will face Erik Bedard tonight, who at one time was considered one of the best pitchers, not only in the American League, but in the National League as well. But Erik Bedard has really suffered some injuries over the past couple of years. He has had 3 surgeries, and it was a week ago today the Tigers faced him in Seattle. He walked 5 in 5 innings of work. And 95 pitches later, Erik Bedard would take the loss against the Tigers, and Detroit hoping to get to the left-hander of the Seattle Mariners again here tonight in Game 2. Tigers trying to even up the series. In the meantime now, we send you back to the Call Sam Studios, and here's Mickey York. It is a cool overcast night here in downtown Detroit. Welcome back to Comerica Park, where tonight it's game 2 in this 3-game series featuring the visiting Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your local newspaper or at foxsportsdetroit.com. Here is the starting lineup tonight for the Seattle Mariners. It is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Ichiro Suzuki leads it off. He's in right field. Sean Figgins is batting second at third base. Milton Bradley is in left field. Miguel Olivo will catch and back cleanup. Justin Smoak is at first. Jack Cust is the DH, and your bottom 3 features Kennedy, Ryan, and Michael Saunders. The scouting report on Justin Verlander presented tonight by Ace Hardware.
Well, there's only so many ways that you can describe a pitcher like Justin Verlander every 5th day. He is simply a frontline starter in this league and one of the best in all of baseball. And why is that? Because his stuff is supreme. If you have 3 above average pitches, you can dominate in the major leagues, and that's exactly what Justin does on any given night. Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's always presented by Beaumont Hospital. In the outfield, you've got Bosch, you've got Jackson. In center field, he already has 2 assists on the season. Casper Wells, strong throwing arm in right field. The infield reads Inge, Peralta, Rayburn, Cabrera, and Alex Avila is back behind the dish for the 2nd consecutive night here at Comerica Park.
And as we look at the numbers on Justin Verlander this year, this April has been a whole lot better than previous Aprils. The record 2-2, but still he's pitched some pretty good baseball.
Well, when he went to spring training this year, about February 15th or so, one of the things that he had in mind is that he was going to get off to a better start this year, not only for himself, but for the team, because I think a lot of times you can lose a pennant in the month of April. You can't really win it, but you can lose a pennant in the month of April.
Well, before the ball game tonight, Charles Woodson in town, and guess who was throwing out the first pitch?
Did he?
Yes, he did. How'd he do? Just a little bit outside.
Little cutter.
A big cutter. So our first pitch ceremonies tonight here at Comerica Park with a Michigan Wolverines flavor tonight. Our temperature at game time 68 degrees, and again it's very cloudy. The lights are on here at the ballpark. No sunshine peeking through the clouds tonight. Ichiro getting ready to lead it off. Suzuki, Figgins, and Bradley, glad to have you with us tonight. And here's the first pitch of the ball game. Ichiro slaps it in the air to shallow center field, and Jackson is right there. 1 pitch, 1 out. That'll bring up Sean Figgins. Always good to keep Ichiro off the base paths. He was on just once last night. Figgins is hitting 165, but he had a key hit in last night's ball game. Knocked in 2 and had a triple. He hit the ball over the head of the center fielder, Austin Jackson. And Figgins is not a guy that you would expect to hit with a whole lot of power. In fact, he had just 1 home run last year.
Well, as shallow as Jackson's playing right now in center field, Figgins has another opportunity to hit the ball over his head should Verlander get a pitch up.
1 ball and 1 strike on Sean Figgins. He has seen Verlander quite a bit in his career. He is just 4 for 25 against him. Here is Justin's 1-1. Lifted back out of play, 1-2. Seattle, for as maligned as they are offensively, they really came on and had a nice game with the bats last night. They pounded out 10 hits, scored 7 runs. That's more of what Eric Wedge wants to see in his first year as the skipper of Seattle. 2-2. Figgins has knocked in 8 this year. He has 1 home run. He is not your prototypical third baseman in that you like more power out of your corner infielders. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Back into the seats. Figgins had a lot of big years in Anaheim with the Angels. He stays in the American League West with Seattle. You see his last year in LA was awfully good.
He parlayed that into a very nice deal in Seattle.
Down the left field line, slicing away and back into the seats. Figgins, however, has not been able to approach the numbers that he had in Los Angeles back in 2009. Was an all-star for the Angels. And one of those guys that you just hated to face when he was going good, because once he got on base, he wreaked a lot of havoc. And a bouncing ball left side. Inge has to go off the glove into left field. So Figgins is aboard with one out.
Inge pretty much played this into a bad hop for himself, and the reason why he had to play it into a short hop is the fact that had he went back on that ball, it's a sure base hit for Figgins, who runs very well from that side of the plate. So he tried to create a tougher play for himself, and Figgins is on first base anyway.
Still waiting on the scoring on that play. Here's Milton Bradley. He is batting .225. And he takes ball one. Bradley, as you may notice, is wearing earplugs, and he's decided to do that recently to kind of drown out the crowd noise. He says it allows him to concentrate a little bit better. I don't think I've ever seen another player wear earplugs.
I don't think I've seen that either. He wears them at home too.
Yeah. He's ahead in the count here, 2-0. They have ruled that ground ball, by the way, an error on Brandon Inge. The 2-0 pitch. High, 3 balls, no strikes.
Don't know for sure, but if you're Verlander, it's not a given that Bradley is taking 3 balls and no strikes.
He's not.
But that's not the swing that you want to see if you're Chris Chambliss, the new hitting coach for Eric Wedge. When you turn a guy loose 3 balls, no strikes, you want to see him get out in front of the baseball. But then again, Verlander's a different animal on the mound, and sometimes he can prevent you from doing that.
As he did with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
There you have it.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Here comes the throw. On the money, not in time. Figgins a steal.
Figgins has really good speed, and he's been a top-notch stolen base guy in the American League for years. Avila did everything right here. The feet were quick. The exchange was quick. The throw was right on the money. But the speed of Figgins allowed him to get in there ahead of the tag by Peralta. It looks nice in slow motion.
Boy, was that close. 3-2 pitch is ball 4, and Bradley has a walk. That'll put 2 on now for Seattle. An early threat against the Tigers ace, Verlander. He's going to bring out Miguel Olivo. A couple of hits last night, including a double and a homer.
If you're the middle infielders of the Tigers with Figgins standing on second base, you have to be aware of the fact that he loves to steal third. You just can't let him walk to third base. You've got to pay some attention to him if you're Rayburn or Peralta.
Rayburn is occupying second base tonight, doing his best to hold Figgins. There's a strike called on Miguel Olivo. Olivo hitting just $185. Trying to pick up a couple of base runners here early. Figgins and Bradley. That duck-in move by Verlander, chasing the runner back. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball, base hit, left field. Figgins coming to third. They're going to send him home. Bosch will throw it to the plate. It's on one hop, and he is out at home plate. They called him out. Figgins can't believe it, and here comes Eric Wedge to argue. A nice one-hop throw by Bosch, but they may have an argument here.
Very nicely done here by Brennan. He grabs it, takes very little time in getting rid of it. He had it low enough. It's a one-hop. Looked like the left hand might have got in there ahead of the swipe tag by Avila, but he was called out by Derek Cousins.
He never even tagged him.
Well, did Figgins touch the plate, though, is my next question.
Let's find out here.
And we'll be able to tell here if he's got hand on the plate. Couldn't tell from that angle.
No. Still hard to tell. But he was called out anyway without Avila reaching back and actually tagging him.
And Jeff Datz, third base coach in that third base box, understanding that Verlander's on the mound, and he was trying to push the envelope there with the speedy Figgins running from second base.
Can't blame him, I guess.
I don't blame him. It took a great throw by Brennan Bosch, and that's exactly the result there. Great throw.
Figgins is still in disbelief. So it remains a scoreless game. Justin Smoak, the batter. He's sporting an 8-game hitting streak. Drives one deep left center field. That ball is hit well. It is way back and it is gone. Justin Smoak has just hit his 4th home run of the season. 3 of them have come against the Tigers. And that was no cheapie. So the crowd is hushed here at Comerica Park with that long ball.
Well, we talked about Smoak at the beginning of the broadcast. He has been one of their hotter hitters in the middle of that batting order. He's a switch hitter. He's got size. He's got grace at first base. He is looking like he is going to be the first baseman of the Seattle Mariners for the next 10 years. That replay courtesy of Fox Xma.
And now Verlander facing Jack Cust. Panasonic giving us some outstanding views again early here tonight. Boy, Smoak has been smoking hot against the Tigers.
Looked like JV had a chance of possibly getting out of this mess after the nice throw by Brennan Bosch in the outfield.
Now the Tigers will have to count on their offense to get back into this game. 1 ball, 1 strike on Cust.
They can do as much. Bedard's been putting up some crooked numbers this year.
Verlander's 1-1. Slides in for a strike, 1 and 2. Cust has faced Verlander 17 times. He is 4 for 17 against him, but 9 of those at bats have resulted in a strikeout. Just missed with a breaking ball. Verlander wanted it. 2-2. Inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-0 on the home run by Justin Smoak. Adam Kennedy waiting on deck. And he got him. Strike 3. Cust is called out of there. Inning over. Big inning for Seattle. Smoak at the 3-run bomb, and it's 3-0 M. We go to the bottom of the first, the smoke home run giving the M's the lead. And here's the Tigers starting lineup presented by Big Boy. You've got Jackson, Rayburn, and Ordonez at the top tonight. Cabrera in his cleanup slot. Then Peralta and Bosch. Inge is at third. Avila will catch. Wells is in right field and batting ninth. So the Tigers have some work to do now as Eric Bedard goes to the hill. And Austin Jackson waves and misses at the first pitch. Jackson hitting 184, was 0 for 4 last night. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In the air toward right field, slicing Ichiro on the run, sliding to make the catch. One away.
Let's take a look at the Mariners defensively. You know that the Gold Glove winner Ichiro Suzuki is in right field. Saunders in center. Bradley in left. Figgins, Ryan, Kennedy, Smoke round out the infield. Miguel Olivo is putting down the fingers tonight for Eric Bedard.
Here is Ryan Rayburn now with one out. And Rayburn looks at strike one. And it appears we have some sprinkles now starting to fall at the ballpark.
It's got some of the fans here scattering.
Those that did not bring umbrellas are wishing they did at this point. There's a ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We had the feeling this would happen at some point tonight. We'll just try and play through it. Hopefully it won't get too thick here this evening. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back out of play. 1-2 on Rayburn. 5 hits on the homestand for Ryan. Bedard, 32 years old, born in Ontario. That is pulled down the left field line. Fair ball. To the corner it goes. Rayburn is on the run. He'll get to second and hold there. 1 out, 2 base hit for Ryan Rayburn.
The one thing that Bedard still has, and that's a pretty good curveball. He used to have one of the best curveballs of any of the left-handed starters in the American League. But look at Ryan. Pull his hands inside nicely on this baseball and keep this ball fair. That is a very difficult ball to keep fair, and he barely kept it fair for a double.
Tigers had their first hit tonight. Here comes Ordonez, who was 1 for 4 in last night's game. And although Maglio had only 1 hit, he felt encouraged by the at-bats that he had last night. Hit the ball hard a couple of times, but only 1 hit to show for it. Cuts and misses 0-1. Ordonez has 1 RBI this year. He's being utilized again as the DH tonight. One and 1 to count. Bedard missed all of 2010 after a couple of surgeries. He's had 3 totals since coming over to Seattle, and so he's still fighting to find the consistency that he had as one of the premier pitchers in the league a few years ago. Inside, 2-1. But when he was on, Rod, as a member of the Baltimore Orioles, he was as good as it got.
High fastball, and he threw that curveball from the same window, same arm slot, and it looked like a fastball coming out of his hand. And he's got one of those 12-6 breaking balls. If you're looking at a clock, the 12 and the 6 hand, the ball goes straight down.
Chopped to the second baseman on a high hop Kennedy, and advanced the runner. 2 gone. Well, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Bedard. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Mario told you the fact that he's had a couple of surgeries on that left shoulder since putting on a Seattle Mariners uniform, which means he's still trying to find his way. He's already put on display his best pitch, which is the curveball, and he may be one of those guys that has to reinvent himself. I mean, he may have to turn into a touch and feel guy. Sink the fastball, change up some breaking balls in fastball counts instead of trying to overpower hitters like he used to.
Cabrera hammers one deep in the air to left, way back. That ball is 1 hop off the wall. That'll get a run in. Cabrera is on his way to second, and he pulls in with a double.
Really, all you want to do is just chip away Eric Bedard. His numbers coming in were not all that pretty. His earned run average was north of 7.5, and he had lost 4 games and he hadn't won a game. Good remedy for the big fella.
Meanwhile, Cabrera has his 16th RBI, and that ball was hit on a line and almost left the ballpark. So a chance now for Johnny Peralta. Each team now with 2 hits. Johnny skies one in the air to right. This is chasing Ichiro back. And he makes the catch. Inning over. Tigers get 1 back. We go to the second. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. By Jeep brand, now celebrating 70 years of legendary heritage. And by Arby's Junior Buffalo Chicken Sandwich. New to Arby's Value Menu. Hurry, available for a limited time only. Well, the Tigers chipping away a little bit. They got a run back on the RBI 2-base hit by Miguel Cabrera. 3-1 Seattle as we go to the second. It'll be Adam Kennedy to lead it off for Seattle. First pitch from Verlander, in there for a strike. 0-1. Kennedy hitting .300. He's hit a couple of home runs. So he'll be followed by Brendan Ryan and Michael Saunders. 1-1 on Kennedy, who lifetime against Verlander is 2 for 12. Lifted back to the screen, 1-2. The smoke home run in the first inning means that Verlander now has given up 4 long balls in his last 5 innings of work dating back to his last start.
Those other 3 were solo shots.
Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, those I guess you don't mind as much as the 3-run shot. The solo shots you can kind of work your way around.
Verlander understands he pretty much can't give up any more runs to the Seattle Mariners offense if his team's going to come back and win.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Peralta ranging left. 1 away.
And he is capable of shutting them down the remainder of the way. I don't know what it is about some of your really good pitchers in baseball. Is they give you a small window very early in the game to get to them, and if you're fortunate enough, that's fine. But if not, they really start to settle in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th innings.
Well, we saw that last night against Felix Hernandez. The Tigers had runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. They settled for 1 run in the first inning.
At the end of the day, you look at Hernandez's numbers last night. 3 runs he gave up, only 5 hits. But he wasn't King Felix last night. He wasn't at his best.
1 ball, 1 strike.
which kind of gives you an idea of how good this guy really is.
Well, and it also gives you a good idea, 103 pitches through 6 innings, how the Tigers really battled last night. And Leland said he was really happy with the game plan and the execution of the game plan. They made him work, got his pitch count up. They just couldn't do anything against the bullpen either.
Eric Wedge probably could have sent Felix back out there for another inning, but he had already thrown 126 pitches in his previous outing against the Oakland Athletics.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Ryan. 3-1. On deck, Michael Saunders, the number 9 hitter. Fly ball to center field. Jackson under it. And there are 2 gone. Time now for the Farmers Insurance report card. It has to do with Justin Verlander. Since 2006, he leads the American League, all pitchers in the American League, with 48 home wins and 85 overall wins. So since 06, nobody in the American League has won more than Justin. Pretty impressive. Here's Saunders. Ball 1 outside to the number 9 hitter, batting .224. Had a double in last night's ball game. One and one. Saunders physically also, Rod, looks like a kid that could become a player.
Don Wakamatsu, who was managing their club last year at the beginning of the year, he said just that. He really liked his physical skills.
Nice play by Cabrera. Verlander covers. Saunders is out.
And I like the big fella's physical skills. The big cat.
Nicely done down there at first base by Miguel. Doing a little bit of everything tonight, using the glove and the bat. Tigers got a run back after falling behind by 3 on the double by Cabrera. Bosch is leading it off. It'll be Brennan, then Brandon Inge, and Alex Avila. Another double and an RBI in the ball game last night for Bosch, batting a cool .342. And he's knocked in 13. Bedard's 0-1. Sliced down the left field line. Base hit, maybe more. Let's see. Bosch will hold up with a single as Bradley gets to it quickly.
That young boy's off the chain right now. There's not a whole lot that he's not doing right from an offensive standpoint, and he's playing well defensively as well. That's a good firm fastball down and away, and Brennan stays with it. He lets it travel because he took the proper bat angle to do so and hit a seed right over the head of Figgins, the third baseman. He is in one of those zones right now.
Chalk line to chalk line, and he's been on base in 15 consecutive games. They'll bring the tying run to the plate now, Brandon Inge. Tigers have their third hit of the game. Inge takes ball one.
They've been somewhat encouraged with the velocity on Bedard's fastball with each outing every fifth day. That last pitch at 92 miles an hour. He doesn't pitch at 92. He used to pitch at 92. He's really pretty much around 89 miles an hour with his fastball, but every now and then, I guess he's still got it.
Ground ball left side. Ryan in the hole, goes to second one. And that's a double play. Nicely turned by the Seattle infield. 6-4-3. Ryan Kennedy smoke.
And one of the keys to this double play even being turned is the fact that Milton Bradley in left field got over in a hurry to prevent Bosch from getting a double on his base hit the opposite way. Therefore, Bosch standing on first base, which allowed them to turn it over and get two.
Here's Alex Avila batting an even 300. 0 for 4 last night. He's had 6 hits on this current homestand. Did a lot of damage against Chicago. Bedard is 32 years old. They got him from the Orioles. Of course, you know the story by now. They gave up Adam Jones, one of their top prospects. And Jones has gone on to blossom in Baltimore. He's a very good player. Bedard, meanwhile, has not given them a whole lot because of the arm surgeries. Oh and 2. And there's what's frustrating. Only 15 games in 08, 09, and missed all of last year. Strike called on the outside corner. Avila is out, and a strikeout for Bedard. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. This guy's been able to do, coming from Japan, and never really had any time where he needed to adjust. He just hit the ground running.
You know, you may need a little time to think about this, and I was kind of thinking about it on the way over here today. Obviously, Ricky Henderson, hands down the best leadoff hitter of all time as far as Major League Baseball is concerned. But who would be the other ones in that kind of top 5? I mean, I had Lou Brock, but then you start to, like, Ichiro. I mean, he's got to be up there.
Well, I'm with you. Clearly, Ricky is number 1. But when you start putting this guy's numbers up against some of the others you talked about. But yeah, I mean, he's got to be top 5. Fouls that one straight back.
I mean, 10 years, 10 All-Star teams, 10 Gold Gloves, Rookie of the Year, MVP. I mean, he's been the stud. I mean, the hero on the World Baseball Classic Japan teams as well.
I'd have to sit down and think about all the great leadoff hitters. You know, Tim Raines, I think, has to be in that conversation as well. But this guy, wow. And he had made mention earlier this year that when he first got to the United States, he felt a lot of pressure because he was the first position player that was going to try and make it here in the United States. And if he didn't make it, that might have closed the door on the other position players in Japan. So he carried a lot of pressure with him, and he has responded.
He's a nice player. There's no debate about that.
One away, and that'll bring up Sean Figgins. Sean reaching on an error, and then was thrown out at the plate trying to score after stealing a base. Verlander settling in now after that 3-run homer by Smoke. And he's retired 5 in a row. And a bouncing ball deep and short. Peralta gets rid of it quickly. High throw, no tag, and the runner is safe.
Yeah, that should be a base hit with the speed that Figgins has. Really nothing Peralta could do. He didn't have time to surround it, so he had to backhand it, throw off balance. And because he was throwing off balance, the arm kind of dropped to a low 3/4 arm slot, and the ball sailed on him, and Cabby couldn't tag him on the way by.
You're calling it an error.
That's a tough error. That's a tough error.
I'm with you. That's got to be a base hit.
That's a tough error.
I think. E5 or E6. So that is the second Tigers error of this game, but the other one belongs to in.
I think that one probably will be changed.
Well, you have to factor in the speed of the runner, I think, from the get-go. The ball was hit in the hole. But we'll see.
Yeah, Figgins has already stolen a base in this game, and no doubt he will try to get himself down in the scoring position again.
Milton Bradley, the batter. Bradley walked and then came around to score on the home run by Smoke in that first inning. Milton struck out 3 times last night, was also hit by a pitch. And there's the strike, 2-1. Verlander's 7 career wins against Seattle, 7-5 lifetime. 96 missed the outside corner. 3-1 on Milton Bradley.
It may not be a bad time to run if you're Figgins. And knowing that if the ball's in the hitting zone, Bradley might have a chance of at least fouling it off.
And he missed it, and so he walks Bradley for the second time here tonight. And another threat brewing now for Seattle. It's the second walk given up by Verlander. And that'll bring up Miguel Olivo. Figgins at second, Bradley at first. Olivo singled, scored a run in the first inning. And he takes one right down the middle of the plate at 98.
If you're Verlander here, you don't necessarily need a strikeout. But what you should be thinking about is the fact that you got a catcher standing in the batter's box in Olivo, and if you can get him to roll over on something, you could get the double play and get yourself out of this inning.
Breaking ball is in for a strike.
Nasty bender there.
You know, we saw Verlander in his last start against the White Sox dial it up to 100 miles an hour. We've seen him throw 98, 99 in this game, so he seemingly is reaching back a little bit his last 2 starts.
This is good weather to pitch in. I know they say warm weather you get a lot looser, but this is good weather.
Swing and a miss, and Olivo is carved up. 2 outs.
Back-to-back, real good, firm, tight spinning curveballs by Justin Verlander. Nice rotation, real nice depth. It's a really good pitch for him.
Second strikeout tonight. Here's Justin Smoak. Smoak with one swing of the bat hit his fourth home run. He now has 12 RBIs this year. And his first game back after the death of his father last night, he homered, and he's homered again here tonight.
He said after the game last night that home run was for his father, and I'm sure that every home run he hits from here on out will be in honor of his dad.
The 0-1. And Smoak also extended his hitting streak to 9 consecutive games.
He looks like he's going to be a good player.
Came up in the Texas system. The #1 pick of the Rangers, came over in the Cliff Lee deal. The key figure for Seattle. A switch hitter who hits with power from both sides. Pretty impressive.
That's why it's hard to give up guys like Smoak in a deal when you know you're renting a player like they did in Cliff Lee last year. They knew there was no guarantee that Cliff Lee would sign as a free agent with them, but yet they were willing to give up a kid like this.
Hit on his hands that time, 2-2.
And I really have no problem with that. I really don't.
There's that home run back in the first inning. Well, I don't either, because the ultimate goal up here is to get to the World Series and win it. Now, Lee got him to the World Series. They didn't win it, but how many opportunities do you have to get there? And sometimes they're few and far between. The 2-2. Missed inside. 3-2 on Smoak.
I think back when the Seattle Mariners also had to trade a future Hall of Fame pitcher in Randy Johnson to the Houston Astros, the same type of a situation. And Seattle got back in return Freddie Garcia and Carlos Guillen and John Halama. Halama was serviceable, but the other two have gone on to make all-star teams in the major leagues.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Verlander strikes him out this time. Third strikeout of the game for JV, and they will strand a couple. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 3-1. Trailing Seattle tonight. 3-1 is our score. Eric Bedard back at the hill, and Casper Wells steps in for Detroit. He shows bunt, drops one down. Olivo calls for it. Quick throw. He's out at first base. Ooh, was that close? One away. Time for a game break now. We go back to the studio, and here's Mickey York. All right, Mickey, thank you. Yankees starting Bartolo Colon tonight. They have really had to patchwork their pitching staff. Phil Hughes has had arm problems. There's a strike called on Austin Jackson. 1 out, 3rd inning. Jackson 0 for 1 with a fly ball. Fouled straight back 0-2. Bedard in his start a week ago against the Tigers walked 5 in 5 innings. Threw a lot of pitches. He was in the 90s. He hasn't walked anybody yet tonight. He's been helped out by a double play ball. Here's the 0-2. And there are the numbers in that game back on the 20th. The Tigers won that game by a run, but you see 5 walks against just 2 strikeouts. Bedard led the Orioles in victories in 2006 and 2007. Driven to right field, right at Ichiro.
Hey fans, the Tigers host the New York Yankees next Tuesday, May 3rd at 7:05. The first 7,500 fans receive a Detroit Tigers fleece scarf. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Now, is that scarf anything like the scarf you were wearing in Seattle?
I don't think so. Mine wasn't a fleece scarf.
No. Here is Rayburn. He skies one in the air.
That scarf sure came in handy, though.
Yes, it did, because I was freezing and you weren't. And Ichiro makes the play. A 6-pitch inning for Eric Bedard. Top of the 4th inning as April in the D continues here in the Motor City. The Tigers and Seattle Mariners tonight here at the ballpark. Game 2 in this 3-game series. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen. Glad you're with us. Chris Swanzalewski is our producer. Brian Moss directing our show tonight. And Justin Verlander climbs back on top of the hill to face Jack Cust as we go to the 4th. Verlander surrendering the 3-run homer to Justin Smoke in the 1st, and that has been the difference tonight. Cust a strikeout victim in the 1st inning. Waves and misses 0-1. Cust is a guy that will strike out a lot. He will also walk a lot. He leads his team in both of those categories, but he has now struck out 26 times this year. Verlander has fanned 3 for the ball game. Here's the 0-1. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 2.
You might as well throw that same fastball. Just get it in that same area above the belt buckle at about 95 miles an hour. Tough for Cust to catch up with. He's a good low ball hitter, as are most left-handed hitters. They like the ball down and in. A little too high.
Verlander in his last start against the Chicago White Sox picked up the 1,000th strikeout of his career. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gotten Cust a couple of times.
Nicely done.
It's 4 for the game now for Verlander. By the way, weekday mornings, it's the Dan Patrick Show with 3 hours of exclusive guests, breaking sports news, and unparalleled insider access. Tomorrow's scheduled guests include Detroit Lions star Ndamukong Suh, and the Dan Patrick Show is tomorrow at 9 a.m. here on Fox Sports Detroit.
A good firm fastball, mid-90s. Cust can't catch up to that pitch.
Kennedy shoots one to left field, base hit. It's a 1-out single for Seattle, and the Mariners now have their 3rd hit. It'll bring up Brendan Ryan. Ryan fly to center field back in the 2nd. Tigers tonight have committed a couple of errors. Only one of them, though, figured in any scoring. That was back in the 1st inning. Ryan checks his swing and fouls it off. 0-1. Verlander moving on up in Tigers franchise history in the strikeout category. 1,004 now. Frank Larry's next in his sights. Then John Hiller, Virgil Trucks. Runner goes. Ooh, a pitch out. But it looked like Avila was a little bit crossed up on that. He had left the crouch and it caromed off his glove. It was an odd looking play. Or was it a pitch out?
I don't think so.
No.
It's a breaking ball that looked like Avila was trying to get himself. No, that's not a pitch out sign, but it looked like he was trying to get his feet set to make that throw and anticipating that breaking ball would come down where he was set up, and it just wasn't a good pitch by JV, and it went off Avila's glove.
So put a runner at second base. 1-1 the count. One and 2. Ryan batting .219. Hit that ball twice. 1-2 the count stays on the former St. Louis Cardinal. Ryan signed to a 2-year deal in the offseason. He's already made a nice defensive play in this game. A native of Los Angeles, California. Shattered his bat. Look out. Peralta makes the play and throws him out. And the barrel of the bat sailing over the Tigers dugout and into the seats. And boy, oh boy, look at that jagged edge.
Very dangerous. And meanwhile, really good pitch by Verlander, crowding Ryan and sawing his bat in half. And Peralta, a do or die play at shortstop, gets the out. That's a perfect shot there, kids, of keeping the glove on the ground and working your way up. so many times you work because you think you're going to get a hop and you start at your knees, then you try to get down and it's too late. That last shot was perfect.
Here's Michael Saunders. 0-1 on Saunders, who bounced out back in the second. Verlander trying to strand a runner at second base, already down 3-1. Seattle has not scored since posting 3 in that first inning. Here's the 0-1. High fly ball, shallow center field. Jackson coming on. And that's going to do it. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. One as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning now at the ballpark on a cloudy, overcast night. Lights have been on since the start of tonight's game. A little bit of a shower earlier, but it's clear right now as Ordonez swings on the first pitch and skies it to shallow left. Milton Bradley cruising under it, 1 gone. That's 6 in a row retired by Bedard. And bring up Miguel Cabrera.
Different looking Eric Bedard here today. You talked about the fact that he walked 5 the last time the Tigers saw him in Seattle. Take a look at that breakdown of strikes and balls. Talk about efficient.
Yeah, he had a 7-pitch second inning. He's also had a 6-pitch inning. That'll put your pitch count in really good shape.
27 pitches, 23 strikes.
Not the same guy we saw the other day, huh?
Not even close.
The 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cabrera doubled in a run back in the first. And he pulls that one foul. 1-2 the count. Everywhere we go on the road, teams, other broadcasters, and other folks affiliated with other teams want to know how good is Cabrera from someone that has seen him play every day. And I think you and I both agree that there probably isn't a better hitter in the American League than Miguel. The 1-2. He's one of those showstoppers, I guess, the best way to term it.
Well, he's a once-in-a-generation kind of hitter. I've never seen a hitter on a day-to-day basis with this kind of plate discipline, the ability to hit 300, hit your 40 home runs, and drive in 120.
Able to fight that one off.
And he's a very smart hitter. A lot of people believe he's just very talented, but Cabrera is a very smart hitter. He'll sit on that bench and tell his teammates what he's going to get the next time he goes to the plate. He gets it, and he hits it out of the ballpark. That's how good he is.
.450 on base percentage here in the early goings. Good for third in the American League. Second in the league in runs scored. You just saw all the numbers and how they stack up in the AL. Very impressive. And right now Miguel with an 8-game hitting streak. Missed the outside corner. 3-2 on Cabrera.
Well, Bedard may make the pitch to get him out. But if Bedard really wants to keep this lead in this game and not allow the Tigers to chip away at it, he's best off not really pitching to Cabrera.
3-2. Bouncing ball to short. Ryan on the charge. Cabrera is out, 2 away. Well, it worked out for him that time. 7 straight retired by Bedard. He's going to bring up Peralta. Johnny with a fly ball, 0 for 1. Ball 1 outside from Bedard. Got to know Johnny now, of course, through the second half of last year and the first half of this year. Very quiet, unassuming personality in the clubhouse. And this is really a clubhouse that has a lot of different types of personalities. It's an interesting mix. Here's the 1-0. You've got Papa Grande on one end of the spectrum, who likes to joke and have some fun, and he's kind of loud. And you've got Johnny Peralta, who just quietly comes to the ballpark every day and does his work.
And everything in between.
That is true. And as Jim Leyland said earlier today, probably the best team chemistry-wise and personality-wise that he has had. That'll get back out of play.
And that's saying something because Jim Leyland has over 1,500 wins as a major league manager. So he's had a lot of teams.
Including a World Series champ. The 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Speaking of the Tigers team chemistry, the new episode of Tigers Weekly, which will air Friday at 6 o'clock, will look at the Tigers team chemistry because a lot has been made about it. Really a great bunch of guys. So tune that in Tigers Weekly. $6 p.m. Friday, and of course it'll replay throughout the week right here on Fox Sports Detroit, an all new Tigers Weekly. Two and 2. Johnny Peralta. Make it 3 and 2 now on Johnny. Trying to keep it going and bring Brennan Bosch to the plate as the tying run. Three-run homer by Smoke in the first has been the difference. Tigers got one back in the RBI double by Cabrera. That's been all the scoring so far. And a ground ball to short. Ryan has been busy in this series. He gobbles up another, and that is that for the Tigers. 8 straight retired by Eric Bedard. Sports Detroit is brought to you by AT&T and by your neighborhood Spartan stores. For locations, check out turntospartan.com. It's always great to get autographs here at the ballpark. One of the great things about fans and player interaction. 3-1 is our score. Seattle on top here as we go to the top of the 5th. And Justin Verlander heading back to the hill. All of the runs in this game scoring in the very first inning. Ichiro leads it off, then Sean Figgins, and then Milton Bradley.
And light rain here again at Comerica Park, starting to get some of the fans to scamper a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of a drizzle falling earlier in the game. Big swing there by Ichiro.
Ichiro will do that. He's sort of running out of the batter's box as he makes contact, and that's how he gets so many infield hits. He's on his way down that first baseline when he puts the ball in play.
Right past Verlander into center field, and Verlander is upset with himself. Leadoff man aboard here in the 5th. Here's the AT&T trivia question tonight. Who are the only 2 other Mariners to each record 40 or more stolen bases in the same season? Of course, Ichiro and Figgins at the top of their lineup. Awfully good before that duo. Who are the last 2 Mariners to do it in a year?
I've got one of them.
I got one. I know the answer because I asked him, but I was only able to get one of them. It's a good question. Should we give him a hint?
Yes.
Got to go back to the late 80s.
That's for both of them?
That's all I'm going to give you. That's all I am allowed to give you.
Huh. Yeah, maybe I don't have one then.
It's in the same season, keep in mind. Verlander facing Figgins here. Justin has been first pitch strikes on 15 of 20 so far.
Ichiro's running a little bit more this year. He has 8 steals already.
Oh, 2. And he's been caught only once. A base hit by Ichiro, the 4th hit of the game for Seattle. The 0-2. Checked it. Didn't go. Avila dropping down the signs. Figgins on base a couple of times, both times via an error. Popped up, foul. Back to the seats it goes. Ings runs out of real estate. 1-2. We talked about Bedard being very economical. Meanwhile, for Verlander, 75 pitches now here in the 5th. And it's sliced to left field, sinking. That'll drop in there, base hit. First 2 Mariners reach in the 5th inning. And now make it 5 hits for Seattle. Now you've got the number 3 hitter coming up, Milton Bradley. Bradley has also been on base twice. He has walked twice against Verlander. And Justin really can't afford to nibble here against Bradley with his team down 3-1 and the first 2 men on. Fouled straight back and a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Cleveland, by the way, is winning again tonight. The Indians, who came in first place, getting it done again tonight.
John Paul Morosi, who was on our pregame show today, Tigers Live, and was breaking down the American League Central, said he went to watch Cleveland last night and said that that team is not bad. With Grady Sizemore being back, they've got a decent team, he said.
And they're leading 6-2 tonight. 1-1 on Bradley. Rolled foul. 1-2. Well, the Indians still lead the way, and as you see, they're leading in the top of the 4th inning tonight. Came in with a 2.5 game lead over Detroit. KC. Minnesota played a little bit better. Missed it high and inside. 2-2.
He has thrown his best 2 fastballs of the night to Milton Bradley. Milton's first time up, Verlander threw one at 99, and that last fastball was in the upper 90s as well.
Bradley has played for 8 different teams, but perhaps his best year was with Texas in 2008. And he had an average of 321, had good power numbers, hit 22 home runs, 77 driven in. Dealt with some injuries last year. He's dealt with a lot of injuries in his career. Swing and a miss, and Verlander finally takes care of Milton Bradley.
Pretty hard to catch up to the fastball in the mid-90s around the belt buckle, and Bradley had no chance at even fouling it off. Hey fans, as soon as the game ends, stay with us for Tigers Live. We'll go to the clubhouse to hear from the manager Jim Leland and the players. Plus we'll show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam studios and here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit.
He's working the clubhouse tonight. Justin White.
I think that it may be Justin.
It is Justin.
And be careful here if you're Verlander. Make sure you give Avila a chance to throw. Should Suzuki take off. These are 2 of your faster base runners in the American League right now on the base paths. Figgins and Suzuki.
Swing and a miss.
Here's where you really have to concentrate if you're Verlander. Obviously, you have to pay some attention to Ichiro. You don't want to let him steal third base, but once you decide to throw that ball home, you shouldn't have your attention divided between he and Olivo. You just can't.
Olivo tonight is strikeout and a single. He has scored a run. Oh, look out. He threw it into center field. What happened there?
Awkward. It's the second time this year we've seen Verlander with an awkward pickoff throw.
It's almost as if he didn't want to throw that ball and he just couldn't hold up.
That's what speed will do. I mean, this is just awkward. Almost like his feet got tangled. He didn't quite turn the way that he wanted to, and he just didn't have conviction when throwing that ball to second base. He didn't even turn all the way. He was pretty much pointing where he threw that ball.
And unfortunately, that was into right center field. The Tigers now have committed their 3rd error tonight. Ichiro at third base. Figgins down at second. And time call now, and Avila wants to
I like this timeout
reload.
I like this timeout call by Avila. Settle down, forget about it. You still have to make a pitch. You can get out of this, but you've got to make some quality pitches. I like that maturity there by Avila.
He'll throw from the windup. And it's a strike called. 0-2 on Olivo. And after him, you've got Smoke waiting on deck. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate at 95. 1-2. Olivo now has 3 hits in the series. Single, double, and a homer. Ichiro and Figgins started the inning with base hits. And again he missed. 2-2 on Olivo. There's Smoke waiting on deck. Breaking ball this time. He offered. Not far enough, though. 3-2.
I don't know how Olivo was able to lay off that breaking ball.
And the 3-2 pitch. Fouled away. Back into the seats. Olivo's played with a lot of teams himself in his career. White Sox, first big league team. Signed with Seattle for the first time in 05. He is back with the M's. And now Avila again heading out to the mound. Three and 2 on Miguel Olivo. High fly ball, right field, hit well. Long run for Wells. He'll go to the warning track. This will drive a run in. Figgins will get to third as well. Sac fly RBI for Olivo. So the air looms large in this inning. That makes it 4-1 now, Seattle.
Well, if they decide to pitch to Smoke here, they have to really be careful with 2 outs and a base open. He has a 9-game hitting streak. He's already played long ball twice in this series. 3 home runs this year against Tigers pitching, and you've got Cust in the on-deck circle, who hasn't hit his stride yet.
First pitch high, 1-0. Smoke's 3-run shot came off Verlander in the first inning. He hit it the opposite way to left center field. His 4th home run of the year. 3 of them have come off Tigers pitching. That's high again, 2-0. So it appears Verlander is skirting around Smoke. With Cust, who he has fanned twice, waiting on deck. No. There's a strike, 3-1. Meanwhile, Verlander's pitch count now is over 90 as it climbs toward 100 here in the 5th inning. There is some activity in the Tigers' pen. Albuquerque warming up. And he lost in ball 4. So Verlander gives up the walk. He's going to bring up Jack Cust.
Well, when you sign Jack Cust, as the Mariners did in the offseason, you know he's going to be a guy that's going to hit for power. He's going to walk a bunch, but he's also going to swing and miss quite often. All 4 of those guys have the same exact thing in common. Huge power.
Seattle is still waiting for Cust to get on a bit of a roll. He is off to a very slow start. He has 7 RBIs, but is not homered, and his average coming in was 176. He drives one foul back out of play. 0-1 on Cust.
Last time Cust was up, Verlander gave him a steady diet of mid-90s fastballs above the belt buckle. Not a bad idea to follow that same pattern.
Big swing, 0-2.
One more.
Cust struck out in the first and the fourth. And in 19 official at bats against Verlander, he has struck out 11 times. High, ball one. And the 1-2. Fouled it back. It's a Seattle team that is really starving for power. They're hoping that Cust will eventually provide it for them. But he has not been able to hit one out yet this year. Of course, Seattle's home ballpark not really known as a home run haven. Cust hit a few homers last year in Oakland. Here's the 1-2. Just missed outside. 2-2 on Cust.
And Verlander not happy with the strike zone tonight of Darryl Cousins.
Another breaking ball. That time he rung him up. And Cust strikes out for the third time tonight. 6 Verlander strikeouts. They get a run, though. And it's now 4-1. Only 2 Mariners, other 2 Mariners, aside from these 2 guys, to each record 40 or more steals in the same season. Your answer is Harold Reynolds, who stole 60, and Phil Bradley had 40 back in 1987.
Should have got that.
I got Harold. I just couldn't get Phil Bradley.
Smoothie. That was Phil Bradley's nickname.
Smoothie?
He played the game real smooth. Good quarterback in college.
Is that right?
Yes.
Here is Brennan Bosch, who fouls it back 0-1. So Phil Bradley was smoothie. What was Chet Lemon again?
Dusty butt.
Now, see, Chet was smooth as well, but he got a dusty butt.
Yeah, Sparky gave him that nickname of Dusty Butt.
It'll be Bosch and then Inge and then Avila here in the 5th. Tigers have some work to do now, down 4-1. One ball, one strike on Bosch.
Bosch hitting .455 this year against left-handed pitching and has already singled in the game tonight against Eric Bedard. Jim Leland can't get him out of the lineup. When they left spring training, Bosch was supposed to be a platoon player.
Pop this one up. Shallow left. Ryan going back. Bradley coming in. And foul ground for the out. One away, and we remind you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game tonight, presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. See final results postgame during Tigers Live. Bedard is on a roll. He has retired 9 straight. Inge hit into a double play back in the second. He's 0 for 1. Tigers have only 3 hits tonight. One ball, one strike. I thought Inge had one of the better at bats that any Tiger had last night. When we talk about them battling against Hernandez, Brandon came up with a clutch 2-run hit. It was a double in the 4th
with 2 outs,
which made it even more clutch. Had tied the game at 3, and Seattle would go on to win, but still, they got some early offense against Felix. And the 1-2. Uncomfortable looking swing there for Brandon. Wow. The pitch count, very different.
Yeah, JV's probably got one more inning in this game. Maybe 2.
Pulled to third and off the glove of Figgins. Into left field. Inge takes the turn and holds. The Tigers have a 1-out runner.
That's why they call it the hot corner. Figgins really has no time to really move his feet and tries to get over and backhand this ball, which is really the only play that he had.
Base hit for Brandon. He's hit safely in 4 straight. Here comes Avila. Bedard had retired 9 straight prior to that base hit. Avila is a strikeout victim tonight, 0 for 1. Alex came in batting .300, 6 hits on this homestand. And Avila, with the injury to Victor Martinez, has seen the lion's share of playing time behind the plate, even though Omir Santos was called up. Ball low, 2-0. And Olivo heads out to the mound. I don't think there's any doubt this has been Bedard's best start of the year to this point. That can obviously change. He's given up as many as 6 runs in a start. That was against Cleveland back on April 10th. Here's the 2-0. Couldn't hold up. 2-1 on Avila.
I was listening to Eric Wedge's comments after the game that Bedard pitched against the Tigers in Seattle while we were waiting to board our bus and our plane headed back to Detroit. And even though Bedard wasn't very good that day, Eric Wedge said he was going to stick with him, and he felt like he was really close to turning the corner, and he's pitched well here today so far.
Fouled back out of play, 2-2. You know, I guess the question is, when a guy comes off as many surgeries as he has, and you know he has had success in the past, that you're going to have some bumps in the road, and how long do you wait? That's the difficult question.
Well, I think they can afford to wait due to the fact of where they are in the standings right now.
True.
Had they gotten off to a better start and they had some guys that were struggling, then you start to replace some guys. But where they're at right now, you can try to move Bedard along because obviously he's not a bad pitcher.
And the 2-2. It's low and away, 3-2. Well, if they can get Bedard to pitch with any kind of consistency with Pineda and with Felix Hernandez, got the makings of a pretty good staff. Wells on deck. Tigers trying to get the bats going here. They got a run in the first, nothing since. Fouled straight back. Tigers got their run in the first on a double by Rayburn, a double by Cabrera. And that has been it against Bedard, who back in 07 finished 5th in the Cy Young voting as a member of the Orioles. Ground ball, base hit left field. Avila goes the other way. Inge goes to second. The Tigers have something brewing now. Nice job by Avila.
Really patient at bat. Just kind of threw his hands at the ball. Didn't try to do a whole lot. And found a seam between short and third.
So the Tigers now have 5 hits. Avila's hits by direction. He went the other way that time, and now it's given the Tigers an opportunity here for Casper Wells.
He's got extra base power. And should he find the gap, Avila runs pretty well for a catcher. And he should be able to score if that ball scampers all the way to the wall.
Ball 1. So Bedard, after cruising through 4, has hit a bump in the road here in the 5th. Tigers have the tying run at the plate. Ground ball hit to short. Ryan bobbles, has only one play, and that's the first. They get the out there. A tailor-made double play ball, and Ryan, who's been so good in the series, bobbled that one.
Well, give Inge a little credit for this. Inge running from second base. He knows this is a double play ball, so he kind of slows down a little bit, and the ball goes right between his legs, and that threw Ryan off. Therefore, Ryan really didn't see that ball coming out of the white uniform of Inge, and he can't make the play. So let's see if the Tigers can capitalize here.
And all it would take is a base hit with runners at second and third.
It's a good veteran move by Brandon Inge.
Jackson is 0 for 2. Strike 1. Austin, a couple of fly balls, both to the right fielder Ichiro. High, ball 1. 1-1 on Austin Jackson. Singles by Inge and Avila here in the 5th inning. Grounded foul, 1-2 on Austin. He's now 0 for 6 in this series. Showed a few signs in that series against Chicago, maybe coming to life a little bit. Behind in the count here, 1-2. High and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Apparently Bedard wants to get Jackson out with the breaking ball. He's thrown him a couple of breaking balls for strikes, and he's wasted a couple of fastballs. The count's even now.
And a swing and a miss, and there you have it. The breaking ball strikes him out. And the threat is over for the Tigers. Just the second strikeout of the game for Bedard. Seattle's still on top behind Eric Bedard in this one. 4-1 is our score. Justin Verlander back to the hill, and he'll face Adam Kennedy, who waves at the first pitch. 0-1. Kennedy, then Ryan, and then Saunders. Adam 1 for 2 tonight. Had a single in the fourth. Did not score. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kennedy, who at one time in his career was traded for Jim Edmonds. Coming over from St. Louis to the Angels, Edmonds going the other way. It was back in the early 2000s, and of course Kennedy went on to win a world championship.
That was a good deal for both teams.
The fifth inning, the toughest for Verlander, 17 pitches. High pop up on the shallow left, and it looks like Bosch wants it. 17 of 95 and above is what that last graphic was. Charting those heaters from Verlander. But his pitch count now is over 100 for the game. Here comes Brendan Ryan. Yeah, that really did turn out to be a good trade for both sides, because Edmonds turned out to be quite a ball player for St. Louis. And Adam Kennedy won a world championship with the Angels. Adam's been around a while. He buckles out of the way. The Verlander breaking ball, 0-1.
Like snapping your fingers.
Did it again. And it's 0-2.
When Verlander first came to the big leagues in 2006, he was throwing a knuckle curveball.
In the glove for strike 3.
But he continued to get blisters by throwing that knuckle curveball, so he kind of taught himself the more conventional breaking ball that he features these days. And boy, he has turned out to be an outstanding pitch for him. Exmo, courtesy of Fox.
Foxmo giving you a great look at strikeout number 7 for Justin Verlander. 2 out, nobody on, and a strike call to Michael Saunders. Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Verlander has walked 3 to go with his 7 strikeouts. A little bit outside.
If he gets this 3rd out in the next pitch or 2, Jim might consider sending him back out there for the 7th.
Two. Verlander's strikeout high this year is 9. He struck out 9 Orioles in Baltimore back on the 6th of April in his 2nd start of the year. Well, Bedard has gotten the best of him so far tonight. 2-2 pitch. He is a little bit off the plate. 3-2. Each team tonight with 5 hits. Verlander tonight's been as high as 99. Down the left field line and foul. Back amongst the crowd of 18,153 tonight on a rainy evening. Although the rain for the most part has stayed away, there's been a threat the entire night. Three-two pitch into the glove, strike 3. Verlander picks up another, and that's 8 strikeouts for JV tonight. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, still 4-1.
Freeze can. Bryn Bosch with an outstanding throw to home plate earlier in this game. Figgins did touch home plate with his left hand, but Darryl Cousins didn't see it. He was called out. A little mini protest there by Figgins, but it really didn't result in anything. Coors Light Freeze Can is always brought to you by your Frost Brew Coors Light.
And Ryan Rayburn leads it off in the bottom of the 6th. Tigers trying to get the bats going here. They're down 4-1. It'll be Rayburn, Ordonez, Cabrera. Maybe this is the inning. They've got 2, 3, and 4 coming up.
And they really haven't hit many balls hard against Bedard here tonight.
The 0-1. Well, what has been the difference, do you think, between this Bedard and the one we saw last week?
Well, first pitch strikes. He's attacking the strike zone early in counts, which allows him to get to his real good breaking ball, and he has not walked anybody in this game.
Well, to your point, 15 of 20 first pitch strikes. Rayburn has a double and a fly ball, 1 for 2. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Make it 2-2 now on Ryan.
That is something else that he has had today that he didn't have a very good one the other day. That curveball. That's that Eric Bedard curveball of when he was wearing a Baltimore Orioles uniform. Oh.
That time he hooked it foul.
It's got a lot of depth to it today.
Bedard with the Orioles won as many as 15 games. That was 06. Won 13 the next year in 07. Then the trade happened, and then the injuries started to follow Bedard. Here's the 2-2. 3-2 now.
Wow. Close pitch.
Ordonez waiting on deck. Ground ball foul outside of the bag at third. Rayburn now with 6 hits on this homestand. Average at 253. Verlander hoping that his offense can find a spark. High fly ball. Hit a ton to center field. Way back. Saunders to the wall to make the catch. Just a little bit short. Rayburn killed that. One gone. He's going to bring up Maglio. 0 for 2 tonight. Ground ball, fly ball. Bedard earlier in the game had retired 9 straight Tigers. And Ordonez takes a strike. Had our annual luncheon today at the Detroit Economic Club here in the Motor City, and all the Tigers attended. It was a great luncheon, and one of the biggest rounds of applause was reserved for Mr. Maglio. Still a very popular player here in town. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike.
I couldn't believe how many people were there today.
You know, it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year, and the fine folks at the Detroit Economic Club do such a great job, along with the Illich Holdings, and putting that event together. It's a lot of fun every year, but you're right, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Whistled foul down the right field line. 2-2 on Ordonez. Maglio sends a ground ball to second. This will be a routine play for Kennedy. 2 up, 2 down here in the 6th.
Hey fans, you can have your picnic or party at an upcoming Tigers game. Group tickets and party suites are on sale now with groups of 15 or more getting discount tickets to select games. Call 313-471-BALL or you can visit tigers.com.
Here's Cabrera now with 2 outs. Miguel responsible for the only Tigers run in this game. That was an RBI double in the first. One of 5 Detroit hits. This is Bedard's longest outing of the season so far. His previous high was 5 innings twice.
Pitch count is still in outstanding shape. He's only thrown 78 pitches to this point.
Ground ball left side. Ryan has another. And Cabrera is out, and the Tigers go 1, 2, 3, 6 in the books here at Comerica. Eric Bedard looking really good tonight. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Back here at Comerica Park, and the Tigers have gone to the bullpen now. Verlander done for the night after 6, with Seattle leading it by a score of 4-1. And as we go to the 7th inning, the new Tigers pitcher is lefty Daniel Schlereth in our Wallside Windows pitching chain.
Well, Daniel got a little work in last night's game, and he continues to put up some zeros. His numbers are not bad. Does not have a record, but the earned run average is very good for the American League. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. And I think coming in, the major concern with Daniel was, would he command his fastballs and breaking balls in the strike zone? And I think so far so good for Schlereth this year.
Well, let's see. He's got Ichiro to lead things off here. Suzuki, then Figgins, and then Milton Bradley. Ichiro flinches on a breaking ball strike. Light rain starting to fall again here at the ballpark. Out come the ponchos and the umbrellas. Ichiro singled, scored a run in the 5th. And a bouncing ball to second. Rayburn throws him out, 1 away.
Pitch count got Verlander here today. 114.
Ended up with 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. Here's Sean Figgins. Strike 1 on Figgins. Each team 5 hits tonight.
If you're the Seattle Mariners, you're probably asking yourself, where's the Sean Figgins of a couple of years ago when he was wearing a Los Angeles Angels uniform? I mean, that guy just hadn't shown up on a consistent basis for Seattle.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. You're absolutely right. I mean, Figgins right now has a batting average of 170.
And he can fly. With that kind of speed, that batting average should be a little bit higher.
Well, the vision, I suppose you can say, when he came over to Seattle was to have just a couple of menaces at the top of their lineup with Ichiro and Figgins, getting on bases and running and stealing bags, and scoring runs.
Well, I know last year he had to make some adjustments. He was playing third base for the Angels. He was also leading off. He was their catalyst. And when he decided to sign with the Seattle Mariners, they quickly moved him to second base during the course of spring training last year. And, of course, he's batting second now behind Ichiro.
Which was the bigger adjustment in your mind, batting second or playing second?
Playing second.
Think so?
Although he had played it in the past, he had become very comfortable at the third base position.
Two on Figgins. And Schlereth missing high, 3-2. Bradley waiting on deck. 1 out, 7th inning. 3 runs Seattle lead. It's way outside, and that is going to be a walk.
Hey fans, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, Albert Pujols leads the Cardinals into Atlanta to take on Brian Hayward and the Braves. Coverage begins at 12:30 with This Week in Baseball on your local Fox station.
Rick Knapp getting on the telephone now.
It's Jason Howard, excuse me.
Hayward. They sniped you with some bad copy there, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I should have known better, though.
That's all right.
I hesitated. I didn't want to say it, but I had to say it because we were running out of time.
Here's Milton Bradley. And he shoots one foul back into the seats.
And no worries about Albert Pujols. He has started to heat up for the St. Louis Cardinals.
There was really no doubt about that, was there?
No, I don't think so.
They're not talking contract with him, are they?
At least not openly. They may be having some discussions behind closed doors, but the media is not aware of them.
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on Bradley. Figgins a walk here in the 7th. And a bluff to first base. Got to believe at some point they want to get Figgins down into scoring position. Middle of their lineup coming up. 3-run lead. We're in the 7th. Figgins stretching his lead. And Bradley takes way inside. 2-1 on Milton Bradley. Milton on base a couple of times tonight. 2 walks, run score. He fanned back in the 5th. One of the 8 strikeouts that Verlander ended up with tonight. The 2-1. Make it 2-2 on Milton. Series finale coming up tomorrow. And the Tigers will have Brad Penny in that one. And we're going to see for the first time Michael Pineda, what all of the furor is about. When you talk about Pineda, he's 3-1 with a 1.78. It'll be interesting to see their young phenom. That's a day game tomorrow here at the ballpark, and the Tigers then bust to Cleveland, take on the Indians over the weekend. Eric Wedge's former team. There's Penny. He'll get the start. Oh, they got him picked off. Cabrera fires down, and the tag is made. Here goes the caught stealing 1-3-6.
It's the 6th time that Figgins has been caught stealing this year.
So they're empty now. 2-2 on Bradley. And high and away, 3-2. Right back up the middle, knocked down by Schlereth. He's going to try and shovel it, and he does. Great play by Schlereth. Beating Bradley to the bag. Backhanded shovel.
And I think he's really doing well. He's made some adjustments. He's made some mental adjustments, but some of that, John, is experience. He's been through it, both sides of it now, you know, the outhouse and the penthouse. He's seen both of them, and now I think he's just kind of settling in and becoming the player we think he could be. And I think, you know, I don't want to put too much on him, but I think he has a really high ceiling.
And Brendan Bosch will bat second here in the 7th inning as the Tigers try and get it going offensively against Bedard. First pitch is a one-hopper to the shortstop, Ryan. And Peralta is out, one gone.
Let me correct something I said the last half inning regarding Sean Figgins, the third baseman, when he was caught stealing. That was only his second time caught stealing this year. I was thinking of Juan Pierre, who just left with the Chicago White Sox, who had been caught 5 times when he was here a couple days ago. My bad.
Well, Pierre is one of the best base stealers, as is Figgins. And it's kind of odd to see that many times for Pierre caught stealing, but Figgins was caught there for only the second time. Bosch is the batter, and he takes ball 1. Bosch tonight 1 for 2. Bedard has been impressive. He has scattered 5 hits, given up 1 run, and Brennan takes outside 2-0. You heard Jim Leyland coming out of that break about the ceiling of Brennan Bosch. It's extremely high, and it looks like he's taking that next step into reaching his potential. Leyland said before the game today, there's a tapper hit slowly towards second. You're going to have to hurry to get him, and they do by a step. Leyland said that Brennan is laying off some tough pitches, and that's one of the reasons why he's had some better at-bats.
He's got tools. He's got size, which you can't teach. He's 6'4", about 230. He's got a good throwing arm, and he's got some speed for a big guy as well. So he's got 3 above average major league tools.
7 straight set down now by Bedard. He had a streak of 9 straight earlier in the game. Brandon Inge, the batter. Ball 1. And again, that pitch count for Bedard is still in great shape. 84 right now. The bender, it's been good all night. He drops in another.
He's been filling up that strike zone today with a mixture of fastballs, breaking balls, and occasional changeup.
Two and one. Single and a double play ball tonight for Brandon. He's it safely now in 4 straight. Really, since the first inning tonight, the Tigers have had only one legitimate scoring chance. They had 2 men on, 1 man out in the 5th, but Bedard got a ground ball from Wells and a strikeout of Jackson. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He tried to hold up, and another quick inning for Bedard. He's retired 8 straight, his 3rd strikeout of the game. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. This one, 4-1 is our score. Justin Smoke, a 3-run homer off Verlander in the first inning, and so far it has held up. Eric Bedard, the other story tonight, outstanding work. Only 88 pitches to get through 7 innings, and the Tigers have helped out the M's cause tonight with 3 errors. Got a new pitcher now for Detroit. That would be Al Albuquerque.
Albuquerque's got a pretty good fastball. He has a legitimate swing and miss, a slider, and it's a very difficult pitch for right-handers to pick up and even tougher to hit.
Miguel Olivo leads it off, and he cuts and misses 0-1. Olivo then Smoke and then Cust against the right-hander Albuquerque. And the 0-1 pitch. It bounces in, 1 ball and 1 strike. Albuquerque signed as a free agent by the Tigers last November. He was pitching at Tulsa last year, made 25 appearances out of the pen. And the 1-1. Right back up the middle into center field. Olivo's had himself a nice series so far. That's his 2nd hit tonight. Plus an RBI. We'll bring up Justin Smoke. Albuquerque out of San Pedro de Macorís. Only 24 years old, a very live arm, an arm that the Tigers saw a lot of in spring training. Very impressed. And now working out of the Tigers pen at the big league level for the first time in his career. Inside as he makes Smoke move his feet. Three-run homer and a walk tonight for Smoke. Sporting a 9-game hitting streak as well. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. We talked about Smoke and his terrific career in college was kind of put him on the map to begin with. That was a nasty pitch.
No doubt.
But he was also the MVP of the Cape Cod League one year back in 2006, and that carries a lot of weight.
That will really put you on the map.
That's typically the best college prospects, isn't it?
Yes. And it always has the best pitchers in the country. And so if you're a position player and you show well in Cape Cod, you're going to be a pretty good draft choice.
The 2-1. 2-2 on Justin Smoke.
Former Tiger Carlos Pena. That's how he put himself on the map, having a very solid Cape Cod summer. He parlayed that into a very high round draft choice.
And a swing and a miss, and Albuquerque takes care of him.
I talked about how tough that slide piece was for right-handers to pick up. Apparently, it's very difficult for left-handers to pick up as well. Look at this pitch here. He really gets on top of that slide piece.
Foxmole with a close look at the strikeout of Smoke. Here comes Cust. Been a tough night tonight for Jack Cust, albeit his 3 at-bats previously coming against Verlander. He fanned all 3 times. 3 of the 8 that Justin was able to put up tonight.
Well, we'll see how Albuquerque attacks Jack Cust, because Verlander was throwing 95-mile-per-hour fastballs by him. Well, Albuquerque says, I have one of those too.
Yes, he does. 96. Leadoff single by Olivo. He's still at first base with 1 out. Ball inside, 1-1. Up with the right hand goes Darrell Cousins, our home plate umpire tonight. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. And the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. What a night for Cust. 4 strikeouts. That one looking.
Mom be home soon. Can't hit the slider.
Well, Cust fanning 4 times tonight. He leads the team now with 29 strikeouts. 2 away, and here comes Adam Kennedy. Ball 1. Kennedy had a base hit. He's back in the 4th inning. Albuquerque bluffing the runner back. Al did not pitch in 2008, missed the entire year with a shoulder injury that he had to work through. Ball high and inside. 2-0.
I did not know that Albuquerque threw as hard as he's throwing here tonight.
I remember when the Tigers, as Jamie Wright begins to warm in their bullpen, when the Tigers signed him in November, the word on him was that he did have a very live arm and a good hard fastball, and that slider as well that you speak of. He's putting it on display tonight.
It's almost like he can throw that slider for a strike anytime he wants to. Whereas with the fastball, doesn't quite have that kind of command with that pitch yet. The slider looks just like a fastball coming out of his hand too.
3-1 on Kennedy.
Well, here's this count that Kennedy has done some of his damage in his career. 3-1 fastball count. He's a good fastball hitter.
And rolled foul just outside of the bag at first. Kennedy last year was with Washington. Justin White had a piece on him in the pregame show, Tigers Live, before the game today, talking about the fact that he has bounced around a bit. But earlier this year played in his 1,500th big league game. Minor league free agent signed in January by Seattle. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Albuquerque strikes him out. He strikes out the side after the leadoff single. No runs, one hit, one left. See you later. MLB.com at Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text that BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com if you'd like more details. Well, looks like that youngin has had enough, huh? Got a new pitcher on now for the Seattle Mariners. That would be the veteran Jamie Wright.
Well-traveled Jamie Wright. He has pitched with a lot of major league clubs, and take a look at that bottom note. He has retired 26 of 35 batters faced this season. That's why he's setting up for Brandon League right now.
And so the Tigers running out of chances here as we go to the bottom of the 8th, down by 3 runs, 4-1. It's Avila, Wells, and Jackson. Facing right. Jamie, 36 years of age now. Avila tonight is 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. And he takes strike 1. Alex at 306 in the average column. Here's the 0-1. Make it 0-2. Jamie Wright's big league career began back in 1996 with the Colorado Rockies. 93 was his first year in pro ball. Breaking ball tapped slowly, first base side. Wright will go over there to cover, and they get it.
Eric Bedard was sensational here tonight against Tigers hitters. And what a difference a week makes, because he had 5 walks against the Tigers when they saw him in the Pacific Northwest. Today he had a good firm fastball, although he didn't throw it for that many strikes. But the breaking ball is a pitch that he was really able to command here today and threw a lot of breaking balls for strikes. He had an outstanding day here today.
Now he hands it over to the bullpen. 88 pitches for Bedard. In fact, he had 3 separate innings in which he had single-digit pitches thrown. That helped out his pitch count. Casper Wells, the batter. 0 for 2 for Casper. A couple of ground balls tonight. Pretty much put a map of the United States on the wall, take a dart, throw that dart at the map, and wherever it lands, more than likely Jamie Wright has pitched there. Colorado, Milwaukee, St. Louis, San Francisco, Texas, KC, Cleveland, Seattle.
Probably had a lot of minor league stops too.
Oh, absolutely. Asheville, Salem, New Haven,
yeah,
Huntsville, Indy, just to name a few. The 2-1. Wells takes inside. 3-1 on Casper. There's Austin waiting on deck. Line to the gap in left center field. It's down. Wells aggressively turning but holding at first base. Got himself a breaking ball and blasted it to left center.
I thought this had double written all over it when Casper Wells made contact, and he was thinking double out of the batter's box. What you have to do is you have to make the outfielders stop you, and that's exactly what they did. They stopped him from getting to that next base.
So with 1 out, here's Austin Jackson. For 3 for Jackson. Roll toward third base. Figgins will charge it. They'll get Austin. The runner moves up. 2 gone. It's going to bring up Rayburn. Each team with 6 hits tonight. Rayburn has one of them for Detroit. It doubled back in the first. Eventually scored their only run. Couple of fly balls his other 2 times. In fact, his last time up, he hit one to the warning track in center field. And he takes one right down the middle for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball rolled foul. 0-2. Well, the Tigers have some action in their bullpen, and that would be Joaquin Benoit. And the 0-2. Rayburn stays alive, fouls it straight back. Wells at second base, 2 outs in the 8th. Tigers down 4-1. He checked it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rayburn this year has knocked in 13. One of the team leaders in that category. Cabrera continues to lead the way, has 16 RBIs. And the 1-2. Jamie Wright signed as a minor league free agent in January this past offseason, and he's done some really good work out of their bullpen. Trying to slam the door here in the 8th, protecting a 3-run lead. And he got him, strike 3. Rayburn caught looking, inning over. No runs, a hit, 1 man left, on our way to the 9th. Tigers down by 3. It looks like the Tigers go right back to the bullpen as Joaquin Benoit checks in now for Detroit.
And Joaquin apparently needs a little bit of work here, pitching in his 11th game now for the Tigers this season, and he has some of the best stuff in the league as far as setup men are concerned.
Four runs, 6 hits for Seattle. 1 run, 6 hits for the Tigers. Benoit has done some really good work for Detroit. He has just heaved the rosin bag for the Tiger bench.
He must want another one. That one must be wet. The rain has fallen periodically here tonight.
And they're in the process of getting him another one. In the meantime, Brendan Ryan leads it off as we go to the 9th inning. It'll be Ryan, then Saunders, and then Ichiro. First pitch popped up. Let's see if there's room for Cabrera. There might be. And there is not. 2 rows back. Kept drifting away from him. 0 for 3 tonight for Ryan. Tigers pitching tonight has 10 strikeouts. Of course, 8 of those came from the starter Verlander. Make it 11 strikeouts. Albuquerque had 3. He's fanned the side in the 8th, so 11 total. 1-1 on Ryan. There's a strike on the outer edge. 1-2. Albuquerque fanned the side in the 8th. He turns things over now to Benoit in the 9th. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2 on Brendan Ryan. Tomorrow it's the series finale. Brad Penny on the hill for Detroit. On the ground to second base, right at Ryan Rayburn. Ryan is out of there. Brendan, that is. 1 gone. He's going to bring up Saunders. Tigers got a run in the first after they gave up 3, and they have put up 0 since. Bedard and Wright the rest of the way to this point for Seattle. There's strike 1. Well, Benoit has been as advertised with Detroit. He went 9 scoreless in spring training this year. He's 9 2/3 this year in the regular season, allowing just 1 run. Exactly what the Tigers figured they were getting for their 8th inning setup guy. Dave Dombrowski in the offseason signed a couple of big free agents, Victor Martinez and Joaquin Benoit. Check swing strike. 1-2 on Saunders.
Well, they had a couple of areas that they wanted to shore up, and someone to pitch in front of Valverde was their first order of business, and there was no one better than Benoit at doing that last year for the Tampa Bay Rays.
The guy he was setting up for, Soriano, have you seen his numbers? He's really struggled in New York.
He has not pitched well in that setup role in front of Mariano Rivera. He gave up a home run last night to Konerko that put the White Sox ahead late in that game.
1-2 on Saunders. And make it 2-2. Saunders 0 for 3 tonight. He fanned his last time up. In fact, he was the last batter that Verlander faced. Outside. 3-2 on Saunders with Ichiro waiting on deck. Going through his stretching routine.
He must be doing some yoga. Have you ever tried yoga?
Once.
It's the new thing these days.
I will never try it again.
Hot yoga.
What is hot yoga?
I don't know, but you sweat a lot. You get in real good shape.
3-2 pitch fouled away.
You get in really good shape. And it's hard, too, they say. I've not tried it yet.
Stretching has always been one of the big things for Ichiro, to stay limber.
I haven't seen him in about a month, but Jim Stapleton, who used to work here for the Tigers, does hot yoga.
Really?
Yes, and he's gotten himself into some pretty good shape.
The 3-2. It's low, ball 4, and that is a 1-out base runner for Seattle.
My wife also has started to do some hot yoga, and she told me that once I get back home that I will be doing some of it as well.
Well, now what's the difference between hot yoga and regular old
I guess
yoga?
it's the heat of the room.
Oh.
I guess it's the heat of the room. It's very hot, and you're doing lots of strenuous stretches, and you really sweat a lot. Therefore, you drop some pounds.
Here comes Ichiro.
But you have tried regular yoga once.
Yeah, very briefly. And I found that I needed to be in shape just to do yoga. To get myself in shape. There's a strike. But a lot of players swear by it, and I think over the last couple of years has become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Guys that have had leg problems last couple of years have gone to doing some yoga.
Off the end of the bat, foul. 0-2 on Ichiro. Single and 4 at bats tonight for Suzuki. Ichiro has hit safely in 5 straight. He'll be marching toward 200 hits again this year. And Benoit steps on. A 1-out walk here to Saunders. Represents a big run because right now the spread is 3. It's been a battle of attrition here. Ichiro waiting on Benoit. Now Benoit ready. And the 0-2. Well, he can spoil a pitch with the best of them. Ichiro just flipping that back out of play. Ichiro gunning for his 11th straight All-Star selection this year, and if he makes it, he will pass Griffey for the most consecutive appearances by a Seattle Mariner in the All-Star game. And I would imagine it'll be a pretty good bet to get there again this year.
I don't see why he won't. All-Star game played in Arizona this year. It ought to be nice and toasty.
It should be
in July.
Crank up the AC in the ballpark. And the 0-2 again. Popped him up foul. Inge tries to get over there. It's a row deep. And then back onto the field. If it's even close, you know Brandon will make every attempt at getting there. Good block by Avila. Runner will go anyway, though. Throw down to second, not in time. So the wild pitch moves the runner up.
It's a nice job here by Saunders. As soon as he saw the ball go in the dirt, he knew it was difficult for Avila to pick that ball cleanly and throw him out.
So now a base hit by Ichiro could get another run in here. 1-2 on Suzuki. And a bouncing ball back up the middle. Peralta can't get it into center field. Saunders coming home. Here comes the throw to the plate, and he is safe. Ichiro takes second base, and it's now 5-1 Seattle.
Don't know exactly what kind of jump Johnny Peralta got on that ground ball up the middle to his left, but if he's playing in his regular position about 3 steps back, he makes this play. But because Ichiro runs so well, the middle infielders are drawn in a few steps, and a lot of these balls get through the infield.
Ichiro has his second hit, picks up an RBI. 5-1 Seattle, and he gets into scoring position. Here's Sean Figgins. Still only 1 out. Ball 1 to Figgins. Single, walk, reaching on an error twice. Way outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Even though there is a left-hander standing in that batter's box, you still have to be careful and not let Ichiro get too big a jump. 42% of their steals this year have been steals of third base.
I'd be willing to guess that far and away that's the highest percentage, don't you think?
I would think so.
2-1 on Figgins. Fouled away, make it 2-2 on Sean Figgins. Seattle 3 in the first, 1 in the fifth, and now 1 here in the ninth to extend their lead to a 4-run spread. Meanwhile, Brad Thomas is tuning up in the Detroit bullpen. And the 2-2. Fastball away. 3-2. Benoit has not been able to spot that fastball outside. Missing wide again. There's Bradley waiting on deck.
And Joaquin usually has pinpoint control with that fastball.
Right back up the middle. That gets into center field. Here comes Ichiro. They try and score him, and no throw from Jackson. It's an RBI single for Sean Figgins, and now 6-1 Seattle. That's going to bring Jim Leland out. 25 pitches thrown by Benoit, so the skipper will head out to the mound. And he will make a pitching change. So Leland takes the baseball. We step aside. Tigers go to the bullpen. runs here in the ninth inning. They lead 6-1. That means Brad Thomas will come out of the bullpen now for Detroit.
Well, Joaquin Benoit needed some work, and he threw 25 pitches, and Jim decided to take him out of the game because he wants to make sure tomorrow, should it be a situation where they need him in the 8th inning, he hadn't thrown too many pitches here tonight.
So the 9th appearance now for Thomas, who will try and get the final 2 outs here in the 9th and keep the score where it is. Milton Bradley stands in for Seattle. Milton tonight, a couple of walks and a run scored. Figgins rather a threat at first base. Figgins stole a bag back in first. Little chopper to second. Should be a double play, and it won't be. It's off the glove of Ryan Raber.
That's going to be the 4th error of the night for the Tigers.
That equals a season high. Tigers also committed 4 errors on April 10th against Kansas City. And so the inning now gets really dicey with 2 men on, 1 man out. There's Olivo. Big night for Olivo tonight, 2 for 3. Here's the 2-0. Olivo hits it hard into left, a base hit. Figgins coming to third. They stop him there. As Bosch guns it back in. Quick throw back to the bag. And he's back in there.
It's a wise decision by Jeff Datz, the third base coach, who earlier in the ball game he gambled and he sent Figgins home. It appeared that Figgins was safe, but he was called out. But Bosch has a strong throwing arm from left field, and why force the issue when you already have a 5-run lead?
And you've got Justin Smoke coming up. Bases loaded for Smoke. 3-run shot in the first got Seattle off and running tonight offensively.
Jeff Datz was on Eric Wedge's staff when they were in Cleveland. Then he went to Baltimore. Now finds himself back with his former buddy.
Well, the Mariners came in as having a reputation of not scoring many runs, and well, it was well deserved because they hadn't. But they have 13 runs in the first 2 games in this series and 19 hits. 2-0 on Smoke with no place to put him. 7th man at bat here in the 9th. The 2-0 pitch. Ground ball left side. Another base hit. It finds the hole. 1 run will score. Here comes Bradley rounding third. He will score, and Smoke has 2 more RBIs. He's driven in 5 tonight.
Milton Bradley with a pretty good jump off of second base because he had a good secondary lead. Therefore, he was able to come home and score along with Figgins on that base hit.
A 5 RBI night tonight for Justin Smoke. That makes it 8-1 Seattle. Going to bring up Jack Cust. Four strikeouts tonight for Cust. And he looks at strike 1. Verlander struck him out 3 times. Albuquerque struck him out of the 8th. Here's the 0-1. 8 men to the plate here in the ninth. They score 4 times. Driven in the air toward left field. Way back. That ball is up against the wall. Cust on his way to second. He is driven in a run. And it's 9-1. This turned into an ugly inning. And Rick Knapp comes out. Cust gets his 8th RBI. A 5-run 9th inning for Seattle. And still only 1 out in the inning, and that 1 out was the first batter. Ryan grounded out against Benoit, but they haven't been able to get an out since. A walk, 2 singles in air, 2 more singles and a double. Here comes the 9th man at bat in the inning, Adam Kennedy. And he looks at strike 1. Kennedy tonight with a single in 4 at bats. The 0-1 pitch. Bouncing ball toward third. Inge on the short hop. This will get another run in. Kennedy gets an RBI. He's retired 5-3. Smoke comes in to score. That makes it 10-1 Seattle. And Ryan will bat for the 2nd time in the inning. Ten runs on 11 hits now for Seattle. Ryan hammers one foul back out of play. Strike 2 called. 0-2 on Brendan Ryan. RBIs in the inning for Ichiro. Figgins, 2 for Smoke, 1 for Cust and 1 for Kennedy. Cust at second base right now. The 0-2 pitch. Inning over. So Ryan makes the first and the last out here in the ninth. A sarcastic cheer coming from the crowd. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives to Motor City. It has been all Seattle here tonight. They lead 10-1 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning at Comerica Park. And the Mariners go back to their bullpen. Aaron Laffey will check in.
Brandon League was up, heating up in the Mariner bullpen when that inning started, but because they put a 5 spot on the board, it's now Laffey who comes in to try to finish this one off.
And the Tigers will have Ordonez to lead it off, and then Cabrera and Peralta. The left-handed Laffey brings home the first pitch, slow and away.
Well, it looks like Penny's going to be sent to the hill tomorrow afternoon to try to prevent the Seattle Mariners from sweeping the Tigers here.
Rolled foul. Well, Penny coming off a good start against the White Sox.
He got a lot of ground balls in that game. He had a good moving fastball. He'll need that tomorrow. This Seattle Mariners team will be playing with a lot of confidence.
Laffey, the former Cleveland Indian. 1-1 is rolled to third base. Figgins on the hop. Throws out Ordonez, one gone.
Baseball's a funny game, isn't it?
That it is.
Coming on the heels of sweeping the White Sox. And then the Mariners coming in here and doing what they've done here for the last couple of days offensively.
Yeah, they really picked up the pace with the bats because they were struggling coming in. Here's Cabrera. RBI doubled in the first, which represents the only Tigers run tonight. 16 driven in for Miguel. He now has an 8-game hit streak. Laffey's 1-0. On the ground is short. Ryan knocks it down. Still has time, and he throws him out. Two gone.
No panic by Ryan. Still able to finish the play.
Got Ryan for 7 assists tonight. He has had a busy series defensively. He's made most every play. It's going to be up to Johnny Peralta. Seattle is 1 out away from getting their 10th win of the season. The Tigers would drop to 500 at 12-12. Driven hard to left field, base hit. Peralta not ready to go home yet. That's his first hit tonight. 2-out single here in the 9th. That'll bring up Bosch. He's 1 for 3. 7 Tigers hits. Ball 1. Day baseball here tomorrow. 1:05 start. Penny and Pineda. And it's on to Cleveland for Detroit. Bosch checked it high. 2-0 on Brennan. Fouled away. 2-1. Bedard started this game, went the first 7. Wright pitched the 8th. Now Laffey here in the 9th. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 on Bosch. And he walked him. The Tigers have 2 on now with 2 outs. And they bring up Brandon Inge. Inge in this one with a single and 3 at-bats. All of Laffey's previous time in the big leagues with the Indians in 07 through 2010, and they picked him up in a deal just a few months ago in March, the beginning of spring training.
I'm sure that the fact that he pitched for Wedge and Carl Willis was the pitching coach in Cleveland had something to do with them giving him another chance. Robbie Thompson, also the bench coach for Eric Wedge, worked in the front office for the Indians, and their general manager, Mark Shapiro.
Ground ball to third. Figgins on the backhand will win the race to the bag, and that is that. So Seattle comes into Motown and takes the first 2 games in this 3-game series tonight behind Eric Bedard. And an offense that exploded for 10 runs on 11 hits.
Who would have thunk it? But it's factual.
Certainly not me. So Eric Wedge and the Seattle Mariners win game 2 in the series. Tomorrow they will try and complete the sweep. The Tigers have other ideas. There's your final tonight. Back with more from Comerica Park.